season catching the football. Last season, the wideout led the area in receiving touchdowns, 17, and was fourth in receiving yards. Those results, along with the fact that now graduated Keegan MICAH, who led Western New York with over 1,000 receiving yards, created the most prolific passing game in Western New York. MICAH is now gone. However, his quarterback, Ben Gosella, is back for his senior season. And I'm also hearing that Evans has been working out a lot off this offseason. I'm sure you've probably seen the videos if you've been on social media. And I know he's getting looks to play at the next level. So if Evans can take advantage of his opportunities and lead his team to the Class AA championship, he can find his way into the top 10. That was our first couple finalists. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about more Connolly Cup contenders. Again, you're watching high school football training camp coverage on Western New York Athletics.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offer stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back on Boeck'S 2022 Connolly Cup contenders list. Again, we're back after 2 seasons off. We're listing our contenders for Western New York's most prized trophy, individual trophy, I should say. Obviously, a sectional title and a state title is probably the number one thing on these guys' minds, but individual-wise, the Connolly Cup is the top award. Now for our next contender, it's going to Niagara Wheatfield for XANDER FLETCHER. FLETCHER quietly had a strong season in 2021, despite his team only winning 1 game all year. The QB was a top 15 passer with 1,383 passing yards and 13 touchdowns. His top threat, Deshaun Watson, comes back after an impressive sophomore campaign. Also returning is running back Tyrann Mathieu. FLETCHER enjoyed far more success on the court last season, leading the Falcons boys basketball team to a sectional title. With basketball coach Eric O'Brien now leading the Falcons football staff, the pair will be looking to carry that success from the hardwood to the gridiron. If they can, FLETCHER will have a worthy case to be named a finalist. That's XANDER FLETCHER, quarterback from Niagara Wheatfield. Our next Connolly Cup contender is a returning finalist from last year. MICAH saw his team come up just short of their very high expectations last fall. The Mighty Legends' 5-year reign in Class AA champions came to an end at the hands of Bennett last season. Still, for most teams, just reaching the stadium is a dream come true. Leading the way for Lancaster last season was MICAH. The then junior proved to be one of the best in Western New York, rushing for 1,375 yards and 19 touchdowns. Something tells me that Lancaster will once again be back in the thick of things in Class AA, and if the Legends can claim back the crown, Harry will once again be at the banquet. Again, that's MICAH, running back from Lancaster. Our next finalist is XANDER Hyde from Randolph. Our next contender is XANDER Hyde from Randolph. Again, he was also a finalist last year along with Harry, the only 2 returning finalists this year. He took much of the Southern Tier and Western New York by storm, rushing for 330 yards and 4 touchdowns in a Week 2 win over Class D power Franklinville-Ellicottville. Hines' success continued throughout the year, finishing with over 1,800 yards and 24 touchdowns. Those numbers helped lead Randolph to the Class D sectional championship and make him the area's top rusher in 2022. Another strong season for the Cardinals could mean another trip to the banquet for Hind. Again, that's XANDER Hind, running back from Randolph. All right, that's our last few couple finalists. We're going to take another short break, and we'll be back. We have more Connolly Cup contenders on Western New York Athletics. Again, this is Western Athletics coverage of Football Training Camp 2022.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYimmediatecare.com for more information.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back on Boeck'S 2022 Connolly Cup Contenders. I'm Francis Beck. We want to thank our sponsors real quick, Howard Hanna, Logistics Plus, and Western New York Immediate Care. Thank you guys for all you do to help support us at Western New York Athletics. And I'm telling you out there, we have a bunch planned for this season, so stay tuned. We have previews coming up. We're going to be doing multiple games a week, I should say, of all sports. So be sure to watch out for that. Some pretty new fun shows here. Coming back to our Connolly Cup contenders list, my next contender is from Albion, way up north, AMARI Jones, the dual threat quarterback. Perhaps one of the best games of last year was a come-from-behind Medina 30-28 victory over Albion in Week 8. The back-and-forth affair featured the high-powered Mustang offense and Albion's dual-threat QB Jones. Unfortunately, not only did Jones' team come up short, but Jones suffered an injury late in the game that kept him out of the next two games. Still, the game put Jones on the map. If he can top his combined 1,115 yards of offense from last season, the Albion QB will be dangerous and could find himself in the discussion to be a finalist. That's AMARI Jones, quarterback for Albion. Our next contender comes from the Monsignor Martin champion St. Francis Red Raiders. Let's see if I can bring up his picture really quick. There we go. Okay, Ricardo, it's up. Let's see. Canisius' Tyler Baker and St. Mary's Christian Lewis may have stolen all the headlines, but Ricardo Kidd quietly was one of Monsignor Martin's best players last year. Kidd ran for 1,099 yards and 9 touchdowns as St. Francis won the Monsignor Martin Championship. The Red Raiders seem to be the favorite to run it back, with many of their top offensive producers returning. If Kidd and company can keep the top spot atop Monsignor Martin, he could find his way into the banquet this season. Again, that's Ricardo Kidd. That's Ricardo Kidd, running back at St. Francis. Our next contender comes from Bennett, who, of course, made it to the Class AA state final last season. Bring up his thing here. Okay, here we are. Jayden Lewis. Okay. Jayden Lewis scored more touchdowns on defense than many players did on offense last season. Lewis was a catalyst on the Bennett defense as the Tigers reached that Class AA state championship game last year. The now UB commit rose to the occasion as Bennett went deeper into the playoffs. He nabbed 5 of his 12 interceptions in the final 5 games of the season. Again, state playoff games. He also recovered 5 fumbles, scoring 8 times in 13 games. Now, it's rare for a player who mainly performs on the defensive side of the ball to be named a finalist. But if Lewis can improve on his already impressive numbers, he'll be hard to ignore. That's Jaden Lewis. Jaden Lewis, defensive back from Bennett. Our next contender also comes from Bennett, and it's Rashad Perry. Everybody knows who this kid is. Now, while he's likely the favorite for the preseason favorite for the Trent's Trophy, this award is given to the top player, period. The Connolly Cup is supposed to go to the top player, period. And you'll have a hard time telling me that he's not at least in that discussion. After falling short of the Carry Dome last year, Bennett has their eyes on winning it all in 2022. And if that happens, rest assured Perry and his big frame will be leading the way. Again, that's Rashad Perry, offensive and defensive lineman from Bennett. And that will take us to our final break of this show. Coming up, we have 3 more contenders I'm going to tell you about. But right now we're going to take a short break. You're watching Boeck'S Connolly Cup Contenders on the WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to wnyImmediatecare.com for more information.
Welcome back for our final segment of Boeck'S Connolly Cup Contenders. I have 3 more contenders to tell you about, kids who I think have a good shot of making the banquet for the Connolly Cup. We're going to start down in the southern tier with a kid named Jesse Stahlman. Although it came to a disappointing end in the Class C quarterfinals, the Salamanca Warriors 2021 season was very impressive. They went 8-2 with their only losses coming to Fredonia and Lackawanna. And leading the Warriors was running back Jesse Stahlman. Stahlman led Salamanca with 1,044 rushing yards to go along with 10 touchdowns. With Class C South rivals Fredonia and Southwestern losing key pieces, the Warriors have an opportunity to take a step forward. If they can take advantage, Stahlman should get some serious consideration for an invite to the banquet. Again, that's Jesse Stahlman, running back from Salamanca. Our next, we're also going to stay with running backs here. Head a little bit back up north to Cheektowaga. Going to tell you about Cameron Warburton for the Warriors. At 5'11", 225 pounds, Warburton is difficult to bring down. The tailback proved to defenders across the Class B North Division last year, rushing for 952 yards. It's about over 5.8 yards a carry and 11 touchdowns. Unfortunately, the Warriors went 3-6, falling in the first round of the Class B playoffs. But if Warburton is able to build on a strong junior campaign and bring Cheektowaga back to prominence in Class B, the Warrior could find himself in the top 10. That's Cameron Warburton, running back for Cheektowaga. And now to our final finalist, or final contender, I should say, for the Connolly Cup. We're going to head to the city. It's Noah Willoughby from South Park. Now, I got to tell you, when I first saw him play last season, he reminded me of another South Park QB, Davion Humphrey. With guys like Amar Polk, Antonio Halton, and Jeremy Yancey, Willoughby had the perfect receiving core to throw to as a sophomore. Now with those guys, along with leading rusher Pharrell Fungram gone, all graduated, the 2022 Sparks will be Willoughby's team. I'm hearing the junior has been putting in a lot of work this offseason. If he can build on his 2,644 passing yards, which, by the way, was a South Park school record, and 26 touchdowns, South Park will be a scary team this fall, and Willoughby can find himself in the company of another former Spark, Tyree Brown. We all know what he did several years ago for the South Park Sparks, leading them to a state championship. So we'll see what happens here. But that is my contender list for this season. Again, you can go back and rewatch, see all my contenders for this year. So thank you all for joining us, for joining me on this season, on this show today. We have plenty more high school coverage on our social media pages, on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages. We've gone out to tons of school this year. We've interviewed many of these players on this list to talk to them about their upcoming seasons. So for myself, I want to thank you on behalf of everybody here in Western New York Athletics. Thank you for tuning in. This was Boeck'S Connolly Cup Contenders 2022.
We realize now more than ever is the perfect time to have the perfect house. We're confident we'll find your dream home. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Sometimes it just isn't your day. We all need a little help from time to time. That's why we're committed to providing safe, quick, and cost-effective care. And we keep it simple. Just walk in. We're here for you. Learn more today